The NFL has just been rocked by a move so seismic that even the most seasoned insiders are struggling to process it. The Las Vegas Raiders shattered every precedent in league history by handing Shedeur Sanders an $80 million guaranteed deal, a contract so unprecedented it feels less like a signing and more like a hostile takeover. The league hasn't just been surprised, it's been blindsided. Within minutes of the announcement, social media melted down. Twitter feeds froze under the weight of disbelief. Instagram flooded with jersey mock-ups and hot takes. TikTok creators scrambled to upload reaction videos before they could even finish processing the numbers. And yet, what truly went on behind closed doors is even more shocking. This wasn't just another big-name deal. This was the culmination of a secretive, calculated play that began months before the world caught wind. It all started with a meeting nobody saw coming. Tuesday evening, while most of the sports world wound down, Raiders owner Mark Davis boarded a private jet. No entourage. No lawyers. No advisors. Just Davis heading into the night with a mission. Hours later, in a quiet, undisclosed location, Davis sat across from Shedeur Sanders. No agents. No distractions. No media circus. Just a billionaire owner and a young quarterback whose name had already been stirring whispers in NFL circles. For 4 tense hours, Davis laid out his vision. Las Vegas wasn't just a football town, it was a global stage. The Raiders weren't just another franchise, they were a sleeping giant in need of a leader. And then came the line that sealed it all. We're not just signing a quarterback. We're investing in the next era of this franchise. Name your price. Those words hit Sanders harder than any blitz he had ever faced. At first, he froze, stunned by the audacity of it. Here was Mark Davis, one of the most powerful men in football, declaring without hesitation that the Raiders' future revolved around him. Shedeur asked for 24 hours to think. Davis gave him 12. By dawn, graphics teams were preparing rollout material, Nike designers were mocking up silver and black jerseys, and Raiders executives were planning what would become one of the most watched announcements in league history. It wasn't negotiation, it was invasion. The Raiders were moving like Sanders already belonged to them because in Davis's mind he did. But this wasn't a snap decision. Insiders later revealed the Raiders had been plotting for months. While the Cleveland Browns disciplined Sanders, suspending him amid whispers of locker room tension, the Raiders quietly circled like sharks in the water. Their scouts slipped into Browns training camp sessions, officially evaluating prospects but unofficially locked on Sanders alone. Every throw, every snap, every interaction with teammates and coaches. They documented his poise under pressure, his ability to take criticism without losing composure, and the way his teammates instinctively gravitated toward him. One insider put it plainly, the Browns thought they were disciplining a rookie. What they were really doing was giving us the perfect scouting opportunity. The Raiders compiled their findings and concluded the obvious. Sanders wasn't just talented, he was generational. And more importantly, he was undervalued because of Cleveland's dysfunction. His market value cratered while his potential skyrocketed. For Las Vegas, it was the perfect storm. By the time Mark Davis sat across from him in that secret meeting, the Raiders already knew everything they needed. His mechanics, his leadership traits, his emotional resilience. He wasn't just another quarterback. He was the identity the Raiders had been searching for. And when it came time to make it official, they didn't just make an offer, they detonated the market. The deal was staggering. $80 million guaranteed before Sanders had taken a single NFL snap. Averaging $20 million a season, the contract instantly vaulted him into the top 15 highest-paid quarterbacks in the league. Not rookies, not prospects, but quarterbacks, period. To put that into perspective, Joe Burrow, a proven Super Bowl starter, signed a 5-year $275 million extension with $46 million guaranteed. Lamar Jackson, a former MVP, secured $185 million guaranteed. Sanders? No playoff appearances, no NFL experience, walking into numbers that obliterated precedent. The built-in incentives could push the contract well past $100 million. Playoff wins, Pro Bowl appearances, performance milestones, all stacked in Sanders' favor. An AFC executive summed it up: "This isn't just a contract. It's a declaration of war." And while Las Vegas celebrated, Cleveland burned. The Browns' front office had no idea what was happening until it was too late. 2 hours before Davis sat down with Sanders, Browns GM Andrew Berry got a call from Sanders' camp. The message was short and brutal: "He's gone." Berry scrambled, offering immediate reinstatement, a guaranteed starting role, even the promise of an extension. But the wheels were already turning in Vegas. Inside the Browns facility, the fallout was nuclear. Head coach Kevin Stefanski reportedly went silent for nearly 20 minutes, staring into space. Owner Jimmy Haslam was heard shouting about loyalty and betrayal. The locker room fractured as veterans whispered about dysfunction and younger players questioned leadership. The fans were even harsher. "Fire Stefanski" trended within hours. One viral post raged, "We had the next Patrick Mahomes and we gave him away because our coach couldn't handle training camp drama. I'm done with this franchise forever." The betrayal cut deeper than any single loss. It wasn't just about Sanders, it was about losing credibility. Season ticket holders called into radio shows to cancel live on air. Others demanded the front office be gutted. Cleveland hadn't just lost their quarterback of the future. They lost their fans' faith. And in the NFL, once that's gone, it's nearly impossible to get back. Meanwhile, 2,000 miles away, Las Vegas was euphoric. Season ticket waiting lists spiked by 15,000 names overnight. Pre-orders for Sanders' jersey shattered franchise records, surpassing the Raiders' entire previous season in a single day. Sports bars across the Strip booked out tables months in advance for his debut. Billboards lit up with Sanders' face. Casinos rolled out themed nights. Even hotels scrambled to create fan packages. The city didn't just get a quarterback, they got a superstar, a face of the franchise. One lifelong fan summed it up through tears: "This is our Joe Montana moment. Shady in silver and black. It doesn't get better than this." The impact reached beyond hype. The Raiders' locker room changed overnight. Veterans who had been skeptical of the team's direction now walked with confidence. Coaches who had been frustrated with back-to-back losing seasons suddenly had hope. 4 years, the Raiders had been the NFL's punchline. Now they were the story. But it wasn't just about Vegas. The entire AFC West shifted. Think about it. Patrick Mahomes, the face of the NFL. Justin Herbert, the gunslinger waiting for his breakthrough. Russell Wilson, desperate to prove he wasn't finished. And now Shedeur Sanders, the unproven rookie with sky-high expectations and a city of lights at his back. 4 quarterbacks. 1 division. Suddenly, every matchup was appointment television. Defensive coordinators scrambled to rewrite playbooks. No more stacking the box against Las Vegas. With Sanders, every snap became a guessing game. Even Mahomes weighed in, reportedly sending Sanders a message: "Welcome to the big leagues, Rook. Hope you're ready for what's coming twice a year." The Chargers fumed they had let Vegas swoop in so aggressively. Wilson stayed quiet, but the writing was on the wall. His days as a top-tier QB in the division were numbered. What most overlooked, however, was the presence of one man behind it all. Coach Prime himself. Deion Sanders didn't storm into press conferences or blast Cleveland publicly, but sources confirm he was deeply involved behind the scenes. He advised Shedeur on market fit, long-term potential, and organizational trust. One insider put it simply: Deion told him, "Greatness needs great organizations." Cleveland wasn't ready. Vegas was hungry. It wasn't just a father's advice, it was the perspective of a Hall of Famer and master strategist. It tipped the scales and sealed the deal. The ripple effects are only beginning. Rookie quarterbacks now have a new benchmark. Agents point to Sanders' $80 million guarantee as the new standard. Executives whisper about the danger of this precedent, fearing every next-gen star will demand the same. Free agents view Cleveland with suspicion, wary of an organization that just fumbled away a generational talent. Sponsors move fast. Nike already preparing a Shedeur Sanders line, local businesses cutting deals, national brands circling. Sportsbooks slashed Raiders' Super Bowl odds nearly in half, admitting they had never seen a rookie signing shift the market so dramatically. But the biggest shift might not be financial, it's cultural. Sanders has shown every young athlete watching that they don't have to accept dysfunction. Draft position doesn't lock them in. They can demand better. They can choose greatness. The Browns lost more than a quarterback. They lost trust. The Raiders gained more than a player. They gained an identity. And the NFL? It may never be the same again. This isn't just a deal, it's a war. And for the first time in decades, Raider Nation is ready to fight it.